What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the stream. How are we doing today? If you can all just let me know if the sound's okay, and we will get started very shortly. All right, sweet. We'll just wait another couple of minutes to let everyone get in and then kick off the stream. First of all, I'm going to take you through the new indicator because I've had loads of questions about all sorts of stuff. I don't really post about anything in relation to this. Don't really give anything in depth too much. It's more for my members, and I like to keep everything within the group, and that's it. So I understand why I'm getting all these questions about certain things. Like, is it good for swing trading? Is it good for if you want to only spend a couple of minutes at the charts every day or whatever, you know, an hour or so? I'll briefly explain all that, and then we'll jump into some charts and go over what I think is going to happen next and what has happened over the last sort of week or so. The legend has entered the building, guys. Give that man a follow. Mr. NS Human. He is a legend. He's been part of my group since the beginning. And I don't think he posts too much on Twitter right now, but I think if he gets enough followers, he'll start posting a little bit more. The guy is a gigabrain, so give him a follow on Twitter. All right. So I'm going to briefly explain this without going too much into detail because I don't want to give too much away, but essentially it's a better way of visualizing trends. Yeah, okay. In your own time, mate, in your own time. It's essentially an easier way of visualizing trends across multiple bars. So we just scroll, you can see all of this data relates to months. So we're going back here to May, February, August 22, even further back, we're going back years. And you can see all the data of each different candle. So you can easily visualize patterns in the market. I am not offering the membership as a credit card payment. You can pay via the link in the bio, or you can message me and I'll send you the address for USDT. They're the only two methods as of now. I just want to reiterate with the group. I don't want to go on about it too much in this stream, but I need to answer some questions because I'm just being bombarded with them at the minute. It is not going to be a group full of thousands of members. That's not what it's about. There will be a limit. At some point I will close it down for the foreseeable. I'm looking for serious traders that want to up the game, or if they're after some help, they want a mentor. I'm confident I can be that person for you. We already have a great bunch of people in there, almost 100 now. And to be honest, I don't want nowhere near 1,000 members or anything like that. That's not what it's about. I want to help people. I believe I have one of the best systems for pure price action, pretty much, although there are certain other metrics involved. But from a very sort of simple approach, I believe I have one of the best ones out there. The reason why I don't want a whole bunch of people in there either, because we want to preserve the edge. There are multiple different edges within these indicators. Now, if we just go into this one here, the amount of options available within here, for example, this glue is something I created, and it sort of glues everything together that I use within my system. And this is what you're seeing on here, the different colors. These are patterns within the market that I monitor. And each pattern can tell me the strength or weakness of a market. I'm not going to go into too much depth, but the longs that I've taken recently have been because of these indicators and these patterns. You can clearly see the strength when you know what you're looking at. Like Bitcoin, for example, you can see green and blue. Green and blue is a strong uptrend, pretty much. And we can see that it turned green here pretty much before most other things. And we are now, it's consistently stayed in the green, and now we're into the blue again. And you'll see this across many different time frames as well. So right now we're looking at the daily, but if we flick onto like a 12-hour, they'll load up for the 12 hour as well. And you're basically seeing 180 assets across here. The beauty of this is they're all built in, so you would choose them from the list down here. You can change the pairing from USDT to BTC, so now you'll get these against Bitcoin like that, so you can see the strength relative to Bitcoin as well. They're all built in, so you don't have to put these in yourself. You can create your own custom list from these, so if you want to trade Forex, for example, you can click on custom there, and then you'll come in here and input your assets into this, and you can choose up to 30 for there. And then you can turn off the ones that you don't want on by simply clicking these, and you'll see them turning off there. There are multiple different settings in here. We have my RSI trend colors, we have the glue, which is my personal indicator, it's my favorite one. We have structure, so the structure right here will give you my structure indicator colors. It's very simple. Red is downtrend, blue is an uptrend, and we can see that right there. It's played really well. Bitcoin and the rest have followed. We also have the Fisher. I'm going to get into that. That's another cool sort of element to this. And then we have, not only do we have the different colors, but we can also manipulate the colors with my settings that I've implemented as well. as default. So if you click on here, you'll see these colors change right now, just like that. And each one gives you a little bit more detail than the other. All depends what you want. If you want a more broad outlook on the market, you will choose, for example, the X or the motif. These will give you different sort of color options to choose from with a little bit less noise. So you might choose something with a bit more detail for a higher time frame, for example, and then on the lower time frame, to cut out all the noise, you'll choose something a bit more extreme. And we have various sort of different systems going on with each one that's different. And this is the first sort of example of this, currently developing even more. And at the minute, I have 19 indicators. They all come with access to the Discord. These are all private. Nobody can access them unless you're in the Discord. And it's a lifetime access, and that's it. There's no monthly subscriptions or anything like that. It's a lifetime access. I want serious people in there, and that's it. Of course, there are many free educational content out there that you can go and look at. You do not need to enter a Discord group or anything like that. If you want a mentor, then do it. If you're serious about trading, then I recommend it. I've been a part of multiple different communities over the years, spent thousands of dollars. I didn't really regret any of them. Some of them were a little bit garbage for all the price, but the majority of them I learned something from, and I've taken it and put it into my own system. So that's the beauty of it. You get to talk to the actual mentor themselves. Like, I answer all questions asked. I'm always available. So you do have that benefit as well. What I will say is, do not join a group if you have no money. If you are skint and you are using your last bit of savings to join a group, do not do it. I don't want people in here that are spending their last little bit of money on my group. I do not want that. Okay, you need to look after your own finances first and foremost. So make sure that you are comfortable in your own life. You're not putting yourself under any strain by spending money on paid Discords or anything like that. Go on YouTube and you can filter out all the stuff on there, and you can easily create a system for yourself by using free content. You do not need a group. Just want to make that very, very clear. My indicators make things a little bit more simple for you, and the beauty of this is it's very versatile, the system. So you can trade intraday, scalp, swing trading, positional trading, whatever you want. There's a system for you in here. Hopefully that's cleared a few of your questions up. Now I'd like to move on to some trading. I'm just going to bring on a chart that I use quite often. This is pretty much my my setup, if you like. Let's just move this out of the way. And I'm happy to take any chart requests, so if you want to throw some chart requests in, let me know and we'll go through some altcoins. What I tend to do at the start of the day, I will actually show you this, is I'll scan the market on these. I usually look at the daily, so when the day is finished and we get the close, I'll go through and see if I have any patterns setting up. So for example, a pattern that I like to look at is, for example, this is a clean pattern here. We get the red, purple, and then green. That's a typical pattern that I like to see. I appreciate it, human. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. And yeah, there are, I don't know, CT's a bit funny. I just find it's best to find someone that you can trust and just go all in on them. That's what I did with Tom Dante when I found him. I didn't really think twice about it. I just went with him, and it's turned me into the sort of trader I am today. I don't think I'd be the trader I am today without him. Just the way he thought about markets. He taught me how to think for myself, whereas a lot of people don't. They just give you signals, don't really tell you what's going on. I give you signals, but I also tell you what's going on. I tell you how to think, why I'm getting in, why I'm thinking this, why I'm thinking that. That's important for trading. You need to think for yourself. I'm not always going to be there I might be sleeping when the market's moving. You need to be able to think for yourself, come up with your own ideas. And that's what a good mentor will do for you. So if you are going to go down that route, make sure you're getting someone that is doing that for you. Not just giving you signals. The signals are useless because you often get the signal, but they don't tell you how to get out or manage that position once you're in there. Okay, how to mitigate the risk, how to move your stop losses, where to take profit, this sort of thing. It's all important. So usually I'll scan the market like this and I'll see some strength in various things. This is my structure spaghetti, created this months ago. And basically this one here, you can turn, if I turn the structure on right here, tell you what, let's turn it on for all the charts very quickly. Yeah, this is going to give me an overview of the structure on all of them. So for the daily, I'll look at the daily close and I'll see, right, what's broke structure. Now, the ones that are highlighting bright are the ones that have broken structure. You can see that with the bright colors right here. So we've had a lot of altcoins breaking structure on the daily. So what I do is, I wouldn't tend to just jump straight into all of these. Sometimes I'll pull the spaghetti up, see, right, okay, I can see what's broke structure because we're getting that bright color. And I'll also look at the spaghetti. This is pinned to the monthly open, or October the 1st there. So it's pinned to that. I can see what's showing strength in regards to the monthly charts. Now, if we look down here, we've got a bunch that are above Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin's broke out, and we think that Bitcoin is going to stay within that range instead of dumping straight away, or it continues moving higher, either Bitcoin's going to suck the liquidity out of the rest of the market, or some of these are going to play catch up. But what I like to see is the ones that are breaking structure showing a little bit more strength. So I can see their audio is one, hot is another, LQTY is another one as well. And so I would simply then bring on my other chart and we would go to, say, LQTY, bring that on. And we would look at what's going on. You guys, you can see that it's broke structure. Okay, we're getting a little bit of choppiness through here. So not the greatest, like down here would have been a great signal. This one, we're having a bit of a chop. So it's sort of stalled at the minute. But what I'll look at is, so on the daily, I'll have my structure set up, and on the 12 hour, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour, I'll have the glue set up. This is going to give me those entry points. Now, one of my favorite entry points for the glue is simple color change, and this is why I love this indicator. It's very simple. It's quite complex what's going on, but it's simple in terms of what to look for. And this is why I use colors. So right now we do have color change on this, on the 4 hour. And I can change this to what I want. So I can go on here. And I can go, so at the minute it's set on number 1. So I'm getting less detail, but if I want more detail, I can flick it onto moderate. You'll see the colors change on here. We didn't really get anything on that. Maybe we'll have to go a little bit further down to get more information. There we go. Okay, we can see here the first bit of red. Just pull this chart up. So we can see at the bottom when we started to get that buy signal on the daily through, where was this one? Right through here. Okay, we've got that signal. We want to see some negative colors through here, so either red or yellow. Then we want to see some positive colors in the form of blue or green. And we can see that red underneath the moving average, and we get the green close, and then we get sort of deviation through here with the yellow and green. And after that, the market goes up. When we get these dips, we want to see the same thing. So we want to look for that red to green with some form of price action. So you can use like a breaking structure, for example. Very typical pattern. Swing high, takes out a swing low, gets back above. We've got the color change as well. Like you'll see this pattern across the markets in various situations and various areas on the market. What this indicator does is it'll show you the color changes at key levels so that you can then capitalize on that with a very safe sort of risk reward. So this one here, this is a typical setup I would have taken, and then we'd aim up. This is how I get the tight risk rewards. There's no point in looking at a daily signal, and this is what I talk about all the time. No point in looking at this daily signal and getting in here and putting your stop loss below this low. When you've got a confirmed buy on the daily or a 12-hour, for example, you want to then be narrowing down onto the lower time frame to try and narrow down into the lower time frame entry points, rather than just blindly buying. So when you see like a short here, I am not just entering a short there, because not every single one of them works. We can see right here that not everything works. Like this short worked here, but the buy didn't. The buy rolled over. But it's important that we do have these on the chart, because what we can anticipate is when this buy happens, you really don't want to see the market come right back down into that area of where that happened. You don't want to see it come down too deep. That's a lack of momentum. You can see that with the moving averages as well there. Got the buy into the moving average. This can be used as a sort of deviation of price. Okay. Get the downtrend, you get an uptrend form. It's looking weak. All we want to see now is a downtrend confirm again. So breaking market structure to the downside. And then we can get short. That's the deviation. That's the continuation signal right there. It never flips bullish and then it goes back down. So that's the sort of thing we look for, but we're not going to enter on this chart. This is just to frame our bias. And so when I say we've got a buy signal through here on the daily, I'm not just going to get long on the daily and put my stop right below it. That's just ridiculous. What you want to do is you want to use that and then narrow down into the lower time frame to see if you can get a tighter entry. So here right now, sometimes you will get in on this candle here and then put your stop loss below here. What I want to see though, and this might not even give me a trigger, what I want to see is something like this. Move back down into this area, wait for a color change again, wait for some sort of bullish price action in here, and then get long. I'm not just blindly longing at this area. I want to long in an uptrend. I want to long at an area where I'm getting the cheapest price. I don't want to buy in the middle nowhere. I want to buy somewhere down here. Okay, you've heard of premium and discount. Something similar to that. I'm not going to go too much into detail with it, but something similar to that. You need to know where you want to buy, and in only some circumstances will you ever be chasing price. What I like about this one is we have a color change on the 12-hour. So what we have is so I've been asked that question before. Do I think it's a bull market? Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's just bring this one up. What I'll do is I'll turn this back to the standard bands. Let's just remove the drawings. Monthly chart. Do I think this is a bull market? No, I don't. Do I think it could change into a bull market at some point? 100%. I think you're crazy if you don't think that. Now, in the last stream, you would have seen me mentioning that I thought that Bitcoin was going to go lower, move down towards the bottom end of the band. However, I also did say that I'm a little bit wary because we haven't come up to the top of this band yet. Notice here, we did in 2019. Bitcoin squeezed all the way up to the top of the band. It went even further than that. I honestly, you cannot rule anything out in this market. Okay, this is the very, very top. If this happens, I will be shorting at this point, back down to the mean, somewhere in here. Now, getting a bit ahead of ourselves within this, because we do have this gap that we're filling at the minute. But this to me is saying that it wants to move even higher. Just how far we are pushing into this gap is telling me that this wants to go higher. Now, bull markets tend to start when one of the most clearest signs of a bull market is this right here. Notice the difference. The fast MA is above the slow moving average. It ramps up through here. This is the start of a bull market on the monthly chart. Go back and look at other charts from different asset classes and you will see this all the time. This is when the real moves start. You don't need to catch the bottom. In here is a confirmed monthly bull trend through here. Even through here, it never flipped bearish. But this is the real point where they start ramping up. We get that breakout, retest. You do not need to be buying the bottom. It doesn't matter. You just need to be getting on these trends. Now, if we look at October there, October 2020, right? I want to show you why you do not need to be suffering from FOMO right now. Let's bring in a Coinbase chart. That was October 2020, right? When it started breaking out. Ethereum broke out a month or two later, okay? Didn't break out in October, it was still ranging, whereas Bitcoin was breaking out. When Bitcoin moves, altcoins tend to move afterwards. They don't always tend to move first. So when you're seeing a rally in Bitcoin, get ready to long altcoins. Bitcoin's your navigation for these markets. Whatever Bitcoin is doing, if Bitcoin looks bearish, very difficult to long altcoins. The best way to do it is if you see a downtrend like this, okay, and then you see some sort of exhaustion putting in. So the downtrend, each move down gets weaker, gets shorter. When you start seeing this is your time to long altcoins. Okay, the selling has already happened, the majority of it. Now we're seeing some exhaustion in those sellers. That's the time to start longing altcoins. When you start seeing Bitcoin break out, like we've just seen, and then you're looking at like an ETH BTC chart, for example. So we just bring that on through here. I mean, this thing is just dropping even more. If it were to come down into here, look at the bottom of these bands, okay? We didn't even reach it at this point. I would bet that if we took this low out through here and got back above, I think we'll see another move up in Ethereum after Bitcoin. But in my opinion, the bull market is not here right now. A bull market for me is not price moving up. This is not a bull market for me. Bull market is this. And you'll see it on multiple assets. You'll see it on ETH. ETH's a great example of it. See this here? It was red all the way through the bands. And just zoom in on there for you. Look at the bands, red. These moves up, eventually were retraced. Kept moving up, back down. It's only when that MA flipped, so the fast one flipped the slow one, that's when you start seeing the true bull market start. You see that flip on the monthly chart. So until we see this, we're not in a bull market. You can see it right here. This is not a bull market. We need to see that momentum. Now we can see a move up here, comes back down, starts ranging here, and then we go up. At that point, do we see that fast moving average get above the slow one? If we do, that can then be your signal to start longing for this bull market. Until then, this is just a range, a large range, and the range is at the moment probably going to be between here, as it was through here. Okay. Here, as it was through here. This range is very, very small in comparison to this range. This one went on for 2 years. This one has gone on for just over a year. So, in my opinion, we could go up the top of this band somewhere, or take this high out into here somewhere, get back below, That could be a short back down, do the low somewhere. Then we can come back up again. Then we can think about getting long somewhere in this area. Similar to how this set up through here. What I want to see is a whole bunch of things. So we've got a buy signal through here. When you get a buy signal in the bull market, you will see momentum after it. You won't see this sideways. When you look at this area through here, look at this buy signal, goes sideways. This buy signal goes sideways. This buy signal goes sideways but stays up and stays bullish. Doesn't really come back down. Doesn't get back below the moving average. It stays above the moving average. The trajectory of the moving average is up. We've broken out of a key level being this one right here. Broke out, got another one through here. Okay, notice this area, up, up. This is the highest close within this whole region. Then we get above and we start to hold here. When you look at this on a weekly chart, you will really see what you want to see. Look at that. Buy signal right here. No real bull market until we hold. Look at the difference between this one right here and this right here. Huge difference. What's important is that this matches what's happening on the monthly chart. When the weekly and the monthly come together like this, and it's just a very, very basic moving average. There's nothing difficult about it, but it can tell a huge story, right? Tell a significant story of what's going to happen next. When you see those two line up, that's when you start putting the foot down. That's when you need to be thinking, right, I don't want to miss this move now. That's when you're not going to suffer from FOMO, but you need to be ready for what's going to happen next. Right now, we're not getting that. You do have an uptrend, but look at it, totally different. This here is different to this. This here is more like this here. And we can see that on the monthly. We bring on, what I'll do is I'll flip this to what we're on the weekly there. Yeah, give us a rough idea. You'll see this red, okay. You can see it here. What this is doing is plotting the higher time frame moving average over the lower time frame. You can see it. Look at the red through here and the choppiness you get through there. Look at the red through here, the choppiness. This is where that bull market starts. What's nice about this indicator is it also gives you the high time frame one. Let's just delete that. And it also gives you the lower time frame one there with the shaded moving averages. So you can see the two in tandem with one another. Whereas right now, not very bullish. There's no momentum here. Any move up is likely going to get sold into eventually, and we are going to retrace that move. I don't know where this is going to end. I'm just playing it from level to level on the lower time frames right now. And this is how I've been catching some of these moves. So Polkadot, for example, we go on here. Now I have different settings for this. Let me see what one I had on. I think it was this one. It was on this chart. Yeah. The Polkadot was very simple. Notice in here we had the divergence. And we did get a move up. But look at the difference between this through here. Okay. This one stayed red, even at the high, and then we rejected, down we go. This one again rejected, down we go. This one here, as it got to this point, turned green. So there was a big difference between this one and this one, and that's why I said I think this is going to squeeze up. It's all about understanding the environment that we're in. This environment here was the shorting. Now we can change this well to get more detail. I don't know what detail it's going to give us. We should see something turn here. Yeah, we do. So you can see here that one of my patterns, one of my favorite patterns, is the red to purple, and then we want to see green after it. Green confirms that purple. Through here, we got the green. What you don't want to see when you get the green is yellow. If you see that, get out. And it works pretty much all the time. When you get that green and you get a yellow, you want to get out of the market. Well, let's say you got in here, stop loss below the low, and you got the yellow, you just took about a 0.3 hour loss. Got in here, you got the yellow, stop loss was below here, you would have took about a 0.1 hour loss. When you get the green on this one, stop loss below here or something like that, whatever you want to do it, you've taken small losses and then you've got a massive win. That's one way of doing this. Notice that through here, you never got a green close, we got a blue one, immediately followed by a yellow, get out of the market, probably going lower. Through here we got the green, what happens? We didn't see a yellow, we went higher. This is a very simple swing strategy. Again, through here, we got the purple to green, up we go. Very, very simple. We did get a yellow here, would have shaken you out. But all of this lines up with the higher time frame. So you don't just use this, let's say on a 12 hour. You can if you want. It depends how simple you want to create your system. But I use these in line with that lower time frame. So for example, when I saw this green close on the 12 hour, I was looking for a pullback to an area I wanted to long. And you can see right here, the entry points, very, very clear. Yellow to blue. At this point, we can see that the blue turns to yellow, but what's happening on the higher time frame? We're all good. We also have a confirmed buy on the 4 hour. These ones you can get in and start longing. So this one you would have got in here. Stop loss. I have certain areas I put the stop loss. Not going to go into detail, but this is how you get the really sort of high risk to reward trades, by using these color patterns in line with the high time frame ones. So they all match, the low time frame builds into the high time frame. That's what you need to understand in trading. When you get a confirmed buy on a high time frame, take a look what's going on the lower time frame. Is the lower time frame confirming what's happening on the higher time frame? You'll get many fake out signals in certain indicators. You'll get many RSI divergences that just don't work, because you have to understand that lower time frame flow. You don't have to look at order flow to understand this. You can see it with price action. It all depends how granular you want to get, but a lot of people can get lost in all of the noise. Become very, very difficult. You have to understand that the lower time frame builds into the higher time frame. If the lower time frame is looking good, it's likely then going to build into that higher time frame. Then the higher time frame will look good, and then say a 12 hour that will confirm a weekly, for example, that will build into the weekly then, and maybe that'll start looking good. This is how you get onto trends very, very quickly before everyone else gets onto them. Imagine long in here at resistance. How did we do it? Because of the lower time frame. Notice the difference all the way through here, right? Take a look at this green right here. So we got it through here, it turned green. We never pushed up on that lower time frame above this moving average. The moving average was pointing sideways. Pretty much it was going down. This one pointing upwards. That's what I'm saying when lower time frame confirms what the higher time frame is showing us. You buy the pullback and then you get long. Very, very simple system to follow. The good thing with this is it's all color coordinated. You don't really have to think too much about what's going on. The colors will show you the strength and the weakness. FTM. I actually was going to long FTM, didn't long it. And I'll show you why I was going to long it now. Just get up the Binance chart. This close right here. I also like to flick between the structure. When the structure lines up with the colors, it's time to get long. FTM was looking pretty good at the lows. This move has now been missed, but you can see through here, ever since this move, It's the first time it turned blue. And we got the retest. Now, I wonder if take a look at this area right here. Again, notice the difference between this one. When it pulls back, it turns red and it stays below. The moving average is pointing down on the 4 hour. Whereas this one, notice the difference here. When it turns blue, it pulls back very slightly and then continues going up. The hour is a very, very good indication of whether or not it's going to be a nice entry. You can see it again, it's just the same pattern, yellow to green, and then up we go. Unfortunately for FTM, we've missed that move right now, but what I'm looking for is a pullback. I'm not going to chase this price now. I want to see a pullback. I want to see something like this again on the low time frame. What's nice is we are getting on the weekly a buy signal on FTM. So this is definitely something to pay attention to. Like, when you look at this on a monthly basis, why are you shorting down here? Best place to short is up here. See that when it comes up, short, down we go. Again, the weekly, why are you shorting down through here? Look at the momentum, the shift in the momentum through here. Down we go, down we go. Remember that drawing I did before where we get the move down, okay? Get this move lower, aggressive, comes back. Look at the trajectory of it. Ooh, didn't mean to draw that. Look at the steepness, changes. That's there telling you potential for a squeeze. And again, this is that monthly sort of area. I wouldn't be surprised to see this squeeze right the way up here. And this is another thing when you see these moves, people want to short them because they are programmed now to be short in this market. They don't see that turn. And so instead of trying to get long, they try and fade the trend. And by the time they stop fading the trend, that's when they get long. That's when they get punished again. So as they're trying to long, the trend is already over. It's too obvious now, and then we reverse again. Unless it's a bull market. Bull markets are very different. They trade different. That's easy mode. That's when all dips get bought and your bags go even higher. And you're making 10-20% in a day. It's very, very different than trading ranges, bear market, rallies. They're very, very different in nature. Solana was another one. I mean, look at these buys on Solana. It's absolutely brilliant. So if we go to, we have these on the medium setting. It was on this one. The last 3 buys for Solana, red, purple, green. Red, purple, green, red, purple, green. They've all provided, what's this, 150%, 84%, and this one is 70%. That's what they provided. When I saw this, I was a little bit cautious about shorts. Once again, price comes back down into that area. We get the yellow to green. That's the buy signal right there. And up we go. It's just a brilliant system that allows me to question my bias. At this point here, I was expecting this low to go. But then when you see the buy signal through here, and the change, and then you're seeing that lower time frame order flow, and you can see it here on the 4 hour. What do you also notice on these? On the 1 hour, we had red, purple, green, the same as we had here. Orange, red, green, again, it's that deviation type play. Plus we got a buy signal on the daily. So we've got all of the time frames lining up. So I said the market could squeeze higher, which it has done. BNB was another one. Just go on the T1. This is actually a trade that we're in right now. Maybe it was. Probably going to take profit in a minute. Yep. So this one is almost at take profit. I've already taken some off. It was a 6-hour trade, shared in the Discord. If I go to bring this up. So this is the Discord right here. You can see it right here. Shared in the Discord. And there we go. That's going to be a 6-hour trade. I think it's going to take this high out up here. That was the target. Again, I was looking at this reversal. Saw this deviation. The one thing that really gave it away was the structure. We've got this structure buy. But again, I'm not just buying structure without looking at other information. When I saw this, it worked here. And then it worked here. That was the bottom. Now we're going up. Once again, I bought at what most people would consider resistance. You have to take in the whole context of the market. What was Bitcoin doing at the time? Well, Bitcoin was rallying, moving higher. It's failing to go lower. But what are altcoins likely going to do? Going to squeeze higher. That's what we've seen on Binance. Again, you have the RSI divergence. I think it was on the 3-day. Would have been on the 3-day and on the daily. Again, we've got that green color change. Purple, red, green. You come in any combination. Don't generally tend to look at the daily for this. It's not my favorite time frame for this. I need a little bit more detail. This is why I have these sort of settings going on through here. You can change them to suit whatever you want. But again, if you think about this on the daily, it's not looking too bad. I think we could even squeeze higher to here, but my target is here for now. And that's where I'll be getting out. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, see what's going on. Going on there. Just move the drones here. So Bitcoin right now, if we look at the context of the market, $31K was through here. Okay, so in this area right here was an imbalance, right? And I'll show it you on the lower time frame. So if we come to the 4 hour, you'll see it. Right here. This is where those shorts stepped into the market. Now, this was the level I mentioned. It was 30.045. And I said, the reaction at that level will be important. Look at the hold at that level. When you see price get above and then hold at a significant area like that, we're likely going to go higher. There's nothing indicating here that we're going to move lower in this market. Structure is still bullish. It remained bullish all the way up, and it still remains bullish now. So that was my reason for looking for shorts in here. When I saw that, I held on to my longs, and I put that also in the Discord. Right. Whatever it is. So yesterday I wanted to look for some mean reversion, but I did say BNB and DOT are still good to hold, okay? And that's why we were holding on to these ones, because at this point right here, there was nothing indicating a short whatsoever. It was holding that level. The short would have been if we got back below that area. Because that would have then been back below the range. If we go back to the 12 hour, you'll see the range. So this was the high, down we go. Up, down we go, down we go. See that every time it come up, price got rejected. As we were coming up here, we got these huge rejection through here, then we come up, found a little bit of resistance, then we pop through, retest that level, and then we go up. I would not be shorting this, or be too eager to start shorting this right now. Let a range form or something. Don't just jump straight in. You'll likely get ran over. You can see here, look at this one on the 1 hour. It holds on the 1 hour. Nothing here, you know my color changes and the color patterns that I use, there is nothing here indicating that this is a short. There was just no short there. It was telling me to hold on to my altcoins, and that's why we've been holding them into this move. Now, if we look at the monthly chart, just want to bring on. What's interesting is we've held this moving average through here, and now we're moving up again. So for me on the monthly chart, this is the key level. Okay, that's a key level there. Notice the retest of it here, and then we break through. So you can see we are rejecting from it at the moment. This is where price stalled yesterday. Come down to the weekly. Let's go back to that one actually. The weekly. So again, we've got this imbalance on the weekly. We've cleaned out this one. We can see multiple times we came into it and rejected from it, even when we come up here, back down. This is now a key area. Also, again, that pattern. Swing low, took out multiple swing highs through here. This was where Duquan was buying through here. This is his candle. But I won't be surprised to see price squeeze a little bit further up into here. This is a key area. I would map it out as a zone. Now, what does that say for me? I'm just going to delete this one. This is the area where price could come up. More so these days now, I am not really, I'm not mapping out too many levels on the higher time frame. I really couldn't care less where price goes anymore. I just don't care. When I will care is the monthly. When the monthly flips bullish, that's when I'll care. That's when I can start buying some altcoins and just sitting on them for months. Right now, still level to level trading, up or down, I don't care. High time frame levels you should be aware of, but trying to say that Bitcoin's going to move up to here and then get back below and down, blah, blah. I'm just going to look at my indicators and they will tell me what I need to do. At the moment, they're telling me to continue longing altcoins. Well, my focus is going to be on altcoins and longing those for now. I'm not too interested where Bitcoin tops out. If anything, I'd be more inclined to be buying dips. Okay, so areas to buy dips are at key levels, imbalances, they're really nice, moving averages. Those are the key areas where I want to be doing business at. I'm not going to short this anytime soon. I would rather wait for something like this, right? Something like this. We see some sort of weakness with the RSI. This type of thing. That's something that I will look to short. Right now, I don't want to short a market that's moving like this. Similar sort of thing through here. This price came up. Sort of seen a little bit of a divergence up through here. This would have been visible on the lower time frame. Again, if we look at this area through here, similar sort of thing. You need to ask yourself a question. How often does the market V reverse? It doesn't happen very often. It happened here. This was one of those rare opportunities. But look what's to the left. You don't really want to be shorting into a bunch of imbalances in the market. Those are areas where you want to be longing or looking for a long. So through here, simply look left. We do have some imbalances through here, but not a lot. There is one right at that area where I'd be looking for price to move to. It was also the last up candle before this down move. Key resistance area. Key resistance area. Remember this range in here? This was when the market turned. This was the first time the market really turned up. Now, I'm not going to show you how, I know that, but I've explained it multiple times as to why this is, and why this is an indication of the range forming instead of the downtrend continuing. We can see it here, this was the breakdown of that range. So if price was to move up into this area, that is where I'd look for a short. Right now, sort of short in the middle of nowhere. Remember that high time frame level, this is the monthly time frame level, okay? When it's the high time frame level, you'll often see squeezes on the lower time frame. And it'll look like a little wick on the high time frame, but it's actually a lot more than that on the lower time frames through here. So we'll often get something like this, and we see a bit of weakness, gets back below, and then you would target the range below, like the range high, below market, something like that. So for now, I'm just looking at long in altcoins to their levels, so to their resistance level, basically. Cardano's been in a downtrend, finally broke out. Once again, the first blue close, and we are going up from here. It was in a bull trend as well. Again, purple, red, green, bottom held. I am not holding any bags, no. I don't hold any spot in anything. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, so for me, 37, roughly. This level's key, it's high. I can see why you would want to short if it kept sort of ranging through here. We got back below. That could be a reason to short the retest down towards here. wait for price to then get back below this level if it wants to. And short, take these two lows out. That's something you can do. Maybe it holds at this level. Who knows? I don't like to predict anymore. I did a lot of predicting 2022. A lot of it paid off, but at the end of the day, nobody knows where the market's going. You are better off coming in with a fresh mind every day, setting out some targets, coming up with a few different theses. And then going, if this happens, I'm going to trade this. If this happens, I'm going to do that. That's the best way to trade these markets. Because we're not in a bull market. That's why I don't hold any spot. I'll start holding spot bags and buying altcoins when we're in a bull market. When we're in a bull market, who knows? The other time I will buy spot is when I think we're at discount levels relative to what I believe is a great opportunity. So if Bitcoin was to come all the way down here, which I don't think it's going to come all the way down there, let's say it comes back down through this low here. That is an area where I'll buy spot. I'm not interested in spot buying right now. I'm trading one level to the next on my trading account, and that's it. I don't need to catch 100x's or anything like that. They are great. That's just not my game. I can't just buy something and hold it. I just can't do that. It's just not the way I do things. I can do it if we're in a bull market. Well, it might be cheaper, but let's say you've got $10,000, right? And you just want to buy Bitcoin right now before it goes into a bull market, okay? Let's say that's what you want to do. You're going to throw your full $10,000 into Bitcoin and you're just going to hold it. What if that bull market doesn't come for another year and you're sat there with no money, no cash, no liquidity? You're sat in Bitcoin, now you can pull it out, but because you're so married to that bag now, you're so adamant that this thing is going to go up, you don't want to take your money out. Sat in Bitcoin, it's going higher eventually, but you don't know when it's going higher. I can't do that. I need to have liquidity for other opportunities that may present themselves. So there are other markets to trade. There's not just crypto. So if I've got $10,000 there, I don't just want to throw it into something and have it locked up. It makes no sense. I need to be timing these markets. Now, for the average person who's not good at timing the market, time in the market might be better for them. But for me, it's not. I cannot just buy blindly at any level and then hoping that a bull market comes. We don't know when a bull market's coming, and I'll show you something. Now, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's something you need to be aware of. I don't think many people are. Think about this move here. This right here would have been like crypto 2017. And anyone that come into the tech sort of bubble at the end, when it ultimately came back down, would have been buying in here, saying we're going to go into a bull market the next couple of years. It's going to continue. This went on for 15 years. From 2000, didn't break out. Even longer than that, it broke out in November 2017. 16 years they waited for a new all-time high. Now, are you telling me that because I think there's going to be another bull market, I'm just going to buy before it? No way. This is the reason why. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in these markets. You cannot just buy because you think that something's going to happen. Nothing is guaranteed in these markets. So for me, I'm going to wait because, and I'll show you why on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin here, I mean, look at these buy signals as well on the monthly. Very simple system. notice the moves we get usually after these buy signals. Doesn't take a lot until the market goes up. We usually get some sort of quick reaction from this. So why would I, for example, be getting long here? I want to be getting long down here, okay? Or in a situation like this, when we get that moving average pointing upwards on the monthly chart, let's go back, turn this on to standard bands. I want to buy here. Why do I want to buy there? Number one, I want to stay liquid. I want cash for opportunities in other markets. I'm a trader. Okay, I'm a trader and an investor, but I'm not an investor until I see something that absolutely stands out. I'm more of an active investor. This right here is not an area I want to buy. Why? Because it is at premium. Premium, discount. Bottom of the band is discount. Best opportunity to buy. Up here, this is where you want to start selling. You've got long down here, this is where you want to start offloading bags. Because the crowd will start coming in, seeing the new all-time highs. Maybe we get the ETF news come in and say an ETF is announced. Everyone starts buying through the high here. It's likely going to be a top. Okay? If the ETF news was announced down here, that's more bullish. Right now, it could squeeze, I don't know. What I'm waiting for is if it does squeeze higher, I don't care. Let it squeeze. Let it squeeze higher and let it come back. Markets always tend to come back, especially when you get the moving averages like this. They don't come back when they're like this. This is when markets do go into price discovery. But look at all this liquidity through here. Bag holders in here. Okay, you're telling me that if price comes back up here, it's not going to eventually come back down? 100%. I believe this is when I don't like talking in absolutes, but I understand markets and I understand the psychology of people. There are bag holders in here that were buying the dip. I know because I was shorting it all the way down. I was telling people to get out of the markets. Everyone was buying dips all the way through. Okay, saying it's never going to come back down below certain prices. It come back down below every single one of them, and now you're left with a bunch of bag holders. You're telling me that desperate people, especially in the current climate around the world, what's going on? Interest rates high, people are struggling at the minute. You're telling me they've got a bunch of money in Bitcoin and they were underwater for months, they're not going to get out when price comes back up. I think they are going to be getting out. They'll have a lot of selling pressure as the market comes up. You can see it right here. Ooh. Let me just this, you can see it right here. All-time high. Okay. People buying into here, comes back down. They realise that maybe they were wrong on this. As it comes back up, those people that were buying in here are now getting out. They are offloading the bags that they were holding. They are no longer bag holders. They're in the market now with a fresh mind, and now they can think clearly about their next move. That's what you're seeing here. That's what you're probably going to see here, and the market will likely retest some form of discounted area in the future. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm not going to buy up here and start chasing price. I will buy on the lower time frames, in and out of trades. That's the way I do things. The reason why this is so important, we'll go back to this point here. You are buying an area. If I bought spot here, if I missed this move down and I didn't buy spot, which I mean, in hindsight, it was a great area to buy, and it was discount. You always want to buy at discount. You want to offload at premium. Very, very basic markets. That's what you need to understand in markets. You want to buy at discount, you want to sell at premium. If I'm buying here, I'm expecting a relatively quick turnover of profits. That's important. If I'm buying in here, what am I expecting from that? If I'm okay to hold for months, maybe years, then great, that's fine. If I've got 10k and it's just a bit of spare change, I don't want to think about it. I want to throw it into a market, let it do its thing. I'll come back in a few years and see where it's at. That's fine if you can do that. I think the majority of people could probably do that. but it's not for me, and I don't recommend it to everyone. I recommend you to learn how to time markets. It's not easy, so I'm not going to say it is. I'm going to start, giving you any false hope or anything like that. But there are ways to time the market so that you can stay liquid for other opportunities. Within here, what else was moving? When Bitcoin was doing all of this, what else was moving? I think if we go to like the link chart, look at link. This is where Bitcoin dumped and then went sideways, whilst link went in a bull market. So if you think about that, that's a missed opportunity if you've just thrown all your money into Bitcoin because you think it's going up. You think there's going to be another bull market. These are the opportunities that you're going to miss out on. And the difficult thing with it is once you've bought something, you have a sort of an attachment to it. You have to think about what you're buying, why you're buying it, and what your time horizon is for the outcome of that trade. And if you don't know what that is, then you need to get out of the market and reassess what you're doing. It's all very important. Nobody really talks about it, but it's just so important to understand. There's so many different aspects to markets that you need to understand before you start trading them and investing in them and this and that. Look, I think the ETF approval will overall be good for Bitcoin, but I don't know if it's going to change the dynamics of the market, to be honest. Because people talk about institutions, but what are institutions? There's so many different types of institutions. You've got central banks, you've got hedge funds, you've got pension funds, you've got your sort of your Apples and Amazons of the world. Are they going to start investing in it using their cash flow and put it on the balance sheet, a bit like what MicroStrategy's done and Michael Saylor? And there's different types of institutions. Like, what institutions are you talking about? When you look at a market like the ES, for example, it moves very differently to Bitcoin. Notice how this moves compared to Bitcoin. It goes up, it pulls back, moves up, pulls back, moves up, pulls back. It's a very, very efficient price movement. Bitcoin tends to move, you get moves that go up rapidly, very little pullbacks like this, and then we get huge dumps in the market. I think when an ETF comes along, eventually you may see Bitcoin trade a bit like the ES. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could change the way the market moves. Again, the ES, you don't tend to get crazy sort of illiquid price moves on a higher time frame basis. You will still get them, but it moves slightly different to Bitcoin. I'm not sure what an ETF will do with that, but yeah, it certainly does. It does equal supply, so it will change the dynamics of the market. People want the institutions here. What do you mean by that? Who do you want here? It's multiple different institutions that you have to consider. So, is it really good? Probably not. Not if you want to be a degen. Not if you want to see these moves. Altcoin, good thing with it is the altcoins will, people say that we're not going to get another bull run like we've had. Well, you've already seen on-chain altcoins this year perform and do ridiculous numbers, 100x's, things like that. There's always opportunity in markets. Never marry a bag. That's what I'll say. If the market shows you it wants to go up, long it. If the liquidity is there, long it. You can get in and out with relative ease, and it's telling you to long, just get in. Don't care what the ticker is. Do not marry a bag. We saw TRB just randomly pump like this. I mean, look at it. Ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Now this thing, look at this. Absolutely insane. I don't really care about TRB. don't care what it is, care what it does. Show me a buy signal with some strength and I'll jump on board and trade it, no problem. But I'm not just going to buy something for the sake of it. So the way to trade volatile coins is this. I mean, this is what I use. It's very easy of me to say this, but you'll see it very clearly. You'll see a pattern right here. This is a pattern that I trade. Red to green. Red to green. Red to green in here. Red to green. There's one pattern. Why is this important? It's a discount. Discount below the moving average. That's the very basic way of doing things. There's more to it than that. It's not just this, and it's all relative. You know, you can change the settings as I've shown you before. This will give you different settings. Maybe you want to change. Maybe you want to trade the orange to blue, yellow to green, yellow to green. They work, just different. Sometimes you won't get the pullbacks that you want. You'll have to come down to the 1 hour or the 30-minute time frame. But ultimately, the process is the same. You have to know what market you're in. That's the key. If you see an altcoin start making moves at a rapid sort of pace relative to the rest of the market, they are often not going to pull back to where you want. What's pretty good about TRB is it's pulled back to moving averages very nicely. I've been told for years that moving averages don't work. They are one of the best things you can use to trade markets. It's how you use it, it's how you trade them. It's where you get in, it's where you scale out your profits, it's where you scale up your stop loss. It's all about execution. People look at moving averages and go, they don't work. They chop around. Yes, they do chop around, but in ranging markets. You do not trade moving averages in ranging markets. You use them when you see a clear trend. Very different. There's a big difference between trading a ranging market and a trending market. There are different tools you use for those. I don't really use moving averages for ranging markets. I use them for trending markets, and there's specific things to look at to see whether we are in a trend or not. It took me 3 years to become profitable. It took me 3 years actually to even get consistent with not losing money. I've been doing it for 8 years now. I was even trading the bull market in 2020, and I've shown you many times. I'll show you again. That's how stupid I was, but this is what makes you the trader you are today. If you persevere and you stick around and you stop making stupid mistakes. So this was where I was long. I was long though, so I'm not going to say I bought everything up here. I bought Rune at $1. Down here, it's all on my timeline, you can go and check it out. The mistake I made was staying long in a market that looked like this. Absolutely ridiculous. And I was still long up here, and in one day, I lost 60%. I didn't lose 6%, but the market went down in one day, 71% in one day. And by the time I got out, I was down 50%, and I took out all my money, loads of trades, and away I went. Now you imagine the euphoria you felt as a noob trader coming into a crypto market. So I came from trading Forex. Looking back, they are quite similar really. I switched off my trading mindset though and became a blind bull in a bull market. It's very easy to do that. And I totally threw out everything that I knew about markets because I was so wrapped up in this bull euphoria, right? I think everyone gets like that at some point in their career, especially when you're switching markets and you don't really know what you're doing in other markets. Markets move quite differently to one another. So you have to understand the market that you're trading. You have to understand its nuances. You have to understand what moves it. the different things to look out for. Now, when you look at this market, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Look at the state of this. I was holding along up here. Look at the weakness on the outside through here. This is when Bitcoin topped out as well. So Bitcoin topped out, started moving lower, and I was still long. Rookie mistake. When Bitcoin's topping out at the end of a massive bull run, get out of the market. You can always get back in. You do not need to stay in the market. And I made the mistake that a lot of people make, and that's the price you pay. So you imagine all the euphoria you were feeling through here, telling your family, telling your mates, telling your girlfriend, oh, I'm making all this money, blah blah. You might be telling your girlfriend, we're going to buy this, we're going to go and do this, we're going to go and do that, and then in one day you lose 50% of your money. It's not a nice feeling to then go and tell those people what's just happened. But you learn, you live and you learn, and as long as you learn from these mistakes and you keep going, you don't quit, keep going with it, then there's always a chance to do really well from it. But it's like any other job. You need to treat it as a business. A lot of people don't. They treat it as just some form of gambling, which it is, but they really treat it like that, like they're in a casino making bets. Like it's ridiculous. There's no risk management, there's no care for profit taking or anything like that. They just get long and they haven't a clue what to do after that. They don't know how to execute on anything, on how to manage trades, and it can be a real slippery slope filled with emotional swings. One day you're up, euphoric, the next day you're miserable, depressed. You need a system. You need to come up with a system, and you need to stick to that system and follow it. I do believe though that everyone has to go through it at some point. Everyone has to lose money at some point. I don't think you can become profitable unless you've lost a lot of money. Sounds very strange, but losses teach you more than wins do. Winners teach you very little, whereas your huge losses that you take, they teach you far more than any win would ever teach you. Because I'm telling you now, when you feel that pain, it's horrible. Horrible. Go and telling your family, just lost half of our money. I mean, it's a large amount of money. 6 figures. Imagine losing 6 figures in one day. Imagine losing 7 figures in one day. It's not easy. So, but what I will say, after you go through an experience like that, if you stick with it, if you've got the determination, the grit, then you will make it. I have no doubts in my mind. This game is not made for everyone, so I'm not saying that everyone will make it, because they won't. But there are certain individuals out there that have lost a lot of money before they've made a lot of money. There's people that have been down 99% and come back and become a millionaire from it. Anything that involves the potential to make a lot of money doesn't happen overnight. You'll see all these Forex gurus and all of these, you've got crypto gurus now on Twitter and Instagram, posting next to a car and all this crap. It's just a lot of bollocks, a lot of rubbish. I spend 12 hours a day sat at my desk, or standing up now, trading these markets. I am constantly watching things. Now, you don't have to do that. I will say that I don't spend as much time now at the trading desk as I used to, because I've got my system set up now. It's far easier. But I'm very productive during the day. I'll spend a long time sat at my desk, testing different things out, building indicators, doing all of this. Yeah, so if you sign up, become a member of my Discord, you get all of these indicators. You'll get all of these. All of these for life, all my updates, any new ones that I create. This is what you get. It's all part of the package. So yeah, I mean, look, these people sat by a pool with the laptop trading. Look, don't get me wrong, it's probably possible for some people. It's not something that I can do. I don't recommend it. I think most of them are lapse. Trading is a business. It's a very serious business. It's not for people that want to go and gamble and not take this seriously. Go to the casino and put it on red or black. You probably make more money. Cannot mess around. Serious business. You need to be very, very prepared to put in a lot of work. 8 years, been doing it 12 hours a day, non-stop. And it's a journey that I've enjoyed, but at the same time been a lot of downs during the process of it all. But it will pay off in the end. All right, do you have any more questions before I wrap this one up? Oscar, I think it can squeeze a little bit higher. My focus really is on altcoins, so so long as Bitcoin stays up here and doesn't show any weakness, then for now I'm just looking at altcoins. Whatever's showing the strength, it's what I'll be looking to long. I'll basically go through my screeners and see what's happening. You can sort of see on a daily basis, this is the structure. We can see what's been in the structure for a little while, but we do have some more that are changing, like SHIB, for example. Broke structure yesterday. Sometimes you've got to be very, very quick with these things. As soon as you see it, you have to get ready. But yeah, like look at SHIB. So it's already started moving. I'm not one to sort of chase things though, so let's have a look here. Close was, yeah, this candle here. So SHIB, give us a long, but I'm not going to start longing up here or up here. I'd rather wait for a pullback. So an area where SHIB can pull back to is probably here. It's very simple. Simple SR, see it here. This was the high that led to move down, high that led to move down. Now we've broken above it. Are we going to get a pullback into this area? If we are, I'll look for an entry point in here. I'll trade it back up to the band. What's interesting is, if you look on the 12-hour, a lot of altcoins have moved higher towards the top of that band. So that's an area that I'm looking at for other altcoins to maybe trade towards. So I'll just basically use this and yeah, just scan the market, see what's coming up, see what's it's showing. What's good about this as well is I can go on and do this quite simply. This is going to give me volume stats. So just by changing a few things here, I will now get volume stats. So I can see what's breaking out with high volume. High relative volume to the rest of the market. So Aave, 88 and APT, they could be very interesting. Just go and look at those. So I might go and look at them. APT, for example. See what that's doing. And the way I do it is I don't chase price. I wait for price to come to me, to an area that I'm interested in. And if it sets up, I'll get on board the trade. If it doesn't, then I'm not interested. So yeah, that's how I do so I do my analysis. This I could sit here for hours and hours and hours going over everything that I do. It's all on the Discord. As I say, do not sign up to any Discord or paid group if you cannot afford it. Please do not do that. That is not what you should be doing. You should be focusing on other things, getting your finances in order before you do any of that. And only join something if you are going to take it seriously. Because you cannot join a group and expect to make money straight away. It just doesn't happen. I started my first one, so I joined my first one in about 2015. I didn't start making money until around Tom Dante. That was 2018. So it's a long journey. But right now there's a few places left, and it's $649 for lifetime access, and it will go up. And the reason why it goes up and not comes down, it keeps it exclusive for members that are already in there, and exclusive as a whole. There will never be a discount on this thing. I'm not interested in that. There will be limited access over time. It goes up over time for that reason. And yeah, wow, I've seen like so many young traders coming through now. It's good to see. If you're starting at that age and you put the work in, you've got so much opportunity in life. So props to you for getting in it so young. And as I say, there's plenty of free information out there, all over YouTube and everything. There is downsides to that. I'm not going to tell you everything. You don't get access to people. It's a little bit different, but you don't need to join any group or anything like that. You can do this on your own. I've seen plenty of people do it, so I'm going to call it there. Thanks for joining, and I'll catch you all on X, as it's now known. But enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Cheers.